Good afternoon and welcome to News 6 Extra. I'm News 6 anchor Lisa Bell. We have a lot to get to today, including some big changes that are underway right now at Disney, as well as mango madness. It is mango season in Florida, and people are actually using the fruit as money in some spots, treating it like gold, really, in some places in Florida. Also, the hot weather. It is continuing today. If you've had a chance to step outside, you'll know it the minute you open the door. But first, we are following some breaking news this afternoon. Big new developments in the Madeline Soto case. In less than an hour, the suspect in the rape and murder of the 13-year-old girl will be going before a judge for a plea hearing. Stephan Sterns is set to change his plea just one day before his first criminal trial connected to this case was set to begin. News 6's Mark Lehman has a look at what we can expect when that hearing gets underway at around 1:30 this afternoon.
I'm News 6's Mark Lehman, and we are at the Osceola County Courthouse. This is where the man accused of raping and killing 13-year-old Madeline Soto is expected to enter a new plea. Stephan Sterns previously pleaded not guilty to charges of first-degree murder, and he is set to go to trial tomorrow here on dozens of sex crime charges. But this plea hearing could change all of that. We got a chance to talk to an attorney about what all of this means. 1 week ago, Stephan Sterns was in court preparing for the first trial connected to the rape and murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. But less than 24 hours before that was scheduled to begin, he's expected to enter a new plea.
Let's say he gets, and the agreement is life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Eben Self is an attorney not affiliated with the case. He says if Sterns pleads no contest, he would go to prison while not admitting guilt. The judge, however, would have to approve it.
Even though it's a perfectly acceptable, statutory approved plea, there are still some judges who won't accept that to certain crimes or just under certain circumstances.
Sterns was set to be tried for sex crimes with jury selection starting tomorrow and is scheduled to go to trial for murder later this year. With the death penalty on the table for that case, Self says he isn't surprised this change is happening just before Sterns is set to face a jury. At this point, neither the defense or prosecution has said if a plea deal has been reached. That hearing is scheduled for 1:30 this afternoon, and we'll stream it live on clickorlando.com. In Osceola County, Mark Lehman, News 6.
Mark, thank you. We now want to check in with meteorologist Samara Kokinos. Our entire weather department has been very busy lately tracking the heat that we've been dealing with. We've had heat advisories. We could certainly use some relief from this weather. Samara, do we have any relief on the way?
We do.
Oh,
November.
good.
No, I'm kidding.
Ha!
We do. We have some November, girl. It's always November.
I know, right? Yeah.
Actually, we do have some rain. Yeah. Some rain is definitely going to help us out. And I know a lot of people, Justin and I were just talking during our noon newscast that, you know, his lawn needs some of that rain. It's kind of crunchy out there. So he wasn't one of the ones that got lucky over the weekend to see some of the rain so that we did have. But we do have increasing rain chances on the way. Right now we are dealing with a heat advisory. So let me show you that in just a second. There we go. Okay, well, that's as good as it's going to get, folks. So heat advisory in place through 6 o'clock this evening. Basically what we're talking about are heat index values ranging anywhere between 108 to 112 degrees. And I know that is just atrocious, right? But let me show you what it looks like outside this afternoon, because it is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful sunshine. For now, we have some clouds building up out Mount Dora Skycam actually showing that intersection. Absolutely stunning this afternoon. Temperatures right around 91, though, feeling like 102, right? So if you're spending any time outdoors today, listen to your body. That is going to be a key player for staying healthy during the heat. I mean, we're talking about heat-related illness that can settle in very quickly, whether it's heat exhaustion or heat stroke, folks. So you really need to give yourself a break in the shade or in the air conditioning, and just really listen to your body, stay hydrated, wear the lighter color clothing. You don't want to wear dark colors because all it does is absorb all that heat. Looking at temperatures outside your door right now, you'll notice that right now in New Smyrna Beach and Palm Coast, it's only 91 or 92 degrees on the scale, but it feels like 111. Look at the Villages. It's 92, feeling like 115 degrees out there. This heat is absolutely disrespectful, so we need you to be careful. Now, we do have some rain popping up on the radar right now, but it's really not a lot, right? So when we look at it, we're talking about a few showers. We are anticipating late this afternoon some of that shower activity to kind of pick up. But here's what we're looking at: a little bit of light rain. Now, it was a little bit heavier on the western half of Sumter County, but a lot of it fizzled out before it even made its way into Lake County. So we do have a few isolated showers there in Umatilla kind of popping up, a little bit of brief heavy rain there. But I think the big story today is really going to be the heat until that rain arrives to give us the relief. So high temperatures today expected to reach 97, of course, feeling like triple digits. But then once that rain arrives, it'll cool things down a little bit. By 7 o'clock tonight, I think we're still going to be in the upper 80s, feeling like the upper 90s. That's been the trend over the weekend. So when we look at the big story ahead, the heat is going to remain in place, at least for today. I think tomorrow we may not be at heat advisory levels, but the heat is still going to be there because we're going to see surging tropical moisture. So with that moisture rising, we get increasing rain chances, but we still see that humid air mass out there that makes it feel even hotter. So really just be careful over the next couple of days if you're spending any type of time outdoors. Now, the tropics, we're watching a wave in the Atlantic invest storm 94L. So as we take a look at that system, that little thing has about a 20% chance over the next 2 to 7 days of taking on tropical development as it makes its way west-northwest toward the Lesser Antilles at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. The thing is, as we get closer to midweek, conditions become less favorable for additional development. So that's why the National Hurricane Center hasn't really gone up in those numbers. It just doesn't look like it's going to be a favorable situation. So let's get back here to home and let's talk about your clouds and rain forecasts. So starting the clock here at 3 o'clock, you'll notice a few more scattered showers that could be producing some pockets of heavy rain, maybe even some lightning and some strong gusty winds. Those gusty winds that we've been seeing over the weekend have been ranging anywhere between 40 and 60 miles per hour. You get up in that 60 mile per hour range, and that's where we could see a severe thunderstorm issued, but it doesn't look like we have a really good chance of seeing a bunch of severe thunderstorms pop today. So I think the majority of the rain is going to be wrapping it up by about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. We'll be dry by 10 or 11. And then overnight, the clouds are going to kind of clear out. And then we're going to see a little bit of potential for some showers over the next couple of mornings across our northern zone. So you'll notice in Marion County, we start to see a few showers roll in about 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And then the second half of the day, we're going to see another round of showers. But look, I know it doesn't look impressive, but let me show you what's going on. 12 o'clock to 3, right? We see a few scattered showers and you're saying, that's really not it. Then second half of the day between 5 and 7. So late afternoon to the early evening, that's where things crank up once again. So just be mindful if you don't get the rain during the daytime, it could be headed your way, especially along that I-4 corridor and back to the west where you could see some heavy rain potential, some strong wind gusts and some lightning through the early evening hours. So a lot of that rain will linger possibly through about 9, 10 o'clock on our western half of Central Florida. So we're talking about Sumter County, Western Marion, going into portions of possibly even Lake County and maybe northwestern Osceola, maybe portions of Polk before everything kind of clears out. But here's what's happening. We have this front that is going to be stalling out over North Florida. The thing is, as this front stalls out across northern Florida, what we're going to notice is this surge of moisture that comes in. Now, this area low pressure, as it kind of sits there, deeper moisture is going to funnel into Central Florida. And that's why we have elevated rain chances as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then after that, high pressure will be settling in just in time for the weekend to clear everything out to give you a beautiful but hot weekend. So let's take a look here at that 7-day forecast for you. Today, 97, of course, feeling like triple digits. Heat advisories once again in place through 6 o'clock. We could see heat index values as high as 112. We've already seen some up to 115. Okay. Then tonight we'll hit a low of about 76. The rain is going to clear out after about 7 or 8. Tomorrow we start the day with a few showers early in the morning over northern zones, spreads out again in the afternoon, and really picks up in the early evening hours. So your rain coverage is about 60 to 70% for tomorrow with a high of 95. As we head into midweek, notice we bring the rain chance up to 70% for Wednesday and Thursday. That brings temperatures back down to about 92 and 93. That's typical for this time of year. But then what happens when we head into the weekend? We dry out a little bit. So we dial back on those rain chances. And of course, we bump up the heat back to around 96 degrees for the weekend. Your overnight lows staying in the mid to upper 70s. So Lisa, there's your rain. That's what I'm talking
Thank
about.
You.
You
Yeah.
know,
I mean,
you're
you
welcome.
said,
I know we all need it.
Yes. You said, use the term disrespectful. A feels like temperature of 115 degrees in the Villages. Disrespectful is one word. I think some people might have a few other choice words for temperatures like that.
Eric Von Aiken told me that over the weekend. I said, it is just, I mean, when I stepped outside and felt that heat in my face, I was like, oh, this is disrespectful. This
Yeah,
is seriously.
yeah.
And he was just like, there are other people saying other things. And I said, yeah, somebody told me it was hotter than a firecracker. And that's putting it lightly.
It's like you're getting slapped in the face with a hot, wet towel.
And then smothered.
Yes.
Exactly. You get smothered by it. But, I mean, if you're here on vacation and you're like, I wanted some dewy faces for everyone.
Yeah.
We were just
You have no
sweating.
choice.
We all look dewy.
All right, Samara, thank you. Switching gears now, we want to take you to DeLand, where there's a troubling situation actually involving the DeLand Police Department. Officers say they need more security for their own police station. It comes after recent harassment, vandalism, and other violent incidents, and they say the actual police headquarters is no longer a safe place to work for them. So as Volusia County's community correspondent Molly Rita explains, the city is now planning to build a gated wall around the police department.
I'm your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed. DeLand police are looking to up the security around their police department. Now, right now, their station is centered right here in the middle of the downtown Main Street area. So there are plenty of residents and town goers always walking around, and it gets pretty busy. Plus, the public has pretty much full access to the parking lot back here. They say putting them in a little bit of danger. That's why they want to now build a tall gated wall to keep them and the public safe.
Police are taking people into custody here, and people are confronting them, coming up, ambushing them.
DeLand police say there has also been vandalism in the cruisers, and the extra security layer is overdue. The concerns really started picking up back in 2018 when someone shot up the police station's parking lot. Thankfully, no one was hit.
When you have a wall, you're able to keep people out, especially when some of our officers are going out on calls.
Which on the flip side can put pedestrians at risk walking through or around the department's parking lots.
That can sometimes hinder police officers from going out and getting to those calls when necessary. So a wall just is kind of that barrier to keep people out that don't obviously need to be in the area.
Right now, they're looking at an 8-foot wall with gates to help with that pedestrian safety access. The city commission here just approved this.
The commission was leaning toward something that was a little more aesthetically pleasing to fit in with the architecture of City Hall, the police station, and downtown DeLand.
Commissioner Richard Paiva says now it's on to the design phase.
Initially, it was estimated the wall was going to cost $100,000, and it was going to cost $30,000 each for 3 of the gates, which would have put that cost in around $300,000.
The total cost will depend on the design, which is still being worked on. A construction timeline has not been set just yet. I'm your DeLand Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
All right, Molly, thank you. We're going to take a quick break, but coming up, we're going to be talking about some changes that are underway right now at Disney, as well as Mango Madness that's taking over parts of Florida. We'll be right back. Welcome back to News 6 Extra. I'm News 6 anchor Lisa Bell, and we want to talk about some changes that are happening right now at Disney. So we want to bring in the News 6 theme park expert, Haley Coombs, who is standing by. And Haley, there are a lot of things that are happening that are new at Disney right now, including a new parade. And this is the first time there's been a new parade like this in like a decade. Is that right?
Correct. Yes. I have often said ever since the Main Street Electrical Parade left here in 2016, went back to the West Coast to retire, the Kiss Goodnight has not felt complete. You know, that was Walt Disney's classic term for the end of the night experience. And for a lot of people, yes. I mean, you had your fireworks, but there was no parade. Alas, we finally have a parade now.
Yay.
Nightly, regularly at Magic Kingdom. Yes. Last night was the official debut. They had some soft showings over the weekend as well, but I had the pleasure of going and getting a very spectacular seat to see these floats. And let's just say my mouth was pretty slack-jawed the entire time. It was gorgeous.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yes, the one that we just saw, Whimsy, that is technically the finale float. And what I love about that one is, and throughout the whole parade, that, you know, the talent, you know, on purpose wanted to bring in, you know, these famous parades of the past, you know, Main Street, but also Spectro Magic. And they did every little detail. It was amazing. But yeah, Whimsy was inspired, of course, by this magical train, or I should say Main Street. It is a magical train. And then, yeah, that's where you have all, you know, Mickey and Minnie on there and these classic characters. But we have plenty of new additions as well. You see an Encanto float. I mean, because really, you can't get enough Encanto these days. And I mean, really, every float was just mesmerizing.
It does look absolutely beautiful out there. The name of this parade is Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away. You said it's their Kiss Goodnight, and it really is stunning. It's beautiful. Yeah. All right. So there's also changes happening over at Epcot at Test Track. Tell us about those.
Yeah. The big update came at Test Track. It's now 3.0. That officially opens tomorrow. I had the chance to go there a few weeks ago to test out Test Track, and yeah, this whole. Let me just say, if you were so familiar with, you know, 2.0, even 1.0, you know, I had 2.0 just imprinted in my mind, and is very different. They've done such a great job of, you know, being so technologically advanced. I mean, looking ahead to tomorrow. I mean, that's what Epcot is all about, right? And they did a really good job of incorporating a lot of these legacy attractions in Test Track 3.0. But yeah, this was, again, you're going through the whole garage and business sequence, and some of this footage, will take you directly back to 2.0. So, but the queue, again, is showcasing the history of GM, because now it's sponsored by GM. You know, it was with the original, and now it's back to GM. So, and then also the queue itself is different. You're not designing a car like you did in 2.0. You are just part of the experience now. So that is different. That's, I think, what a lot of people are going to walk in. If they've done it before, they're going to be like, whoa, I'm not designing a car anymore. But I guarantee the ride itself, you will enjoy. It's very, very cool, technologically advanced, gorgeous. And then, of course, I mean, it all leads up to the outside loop going on a race. So.
Well, it looks like a lot of fun. We want to switch gears and go back to Magic Kingdom for a minute, though, because I understand there's a new Pirates bar that's opening there. What is that all about?
Yeah, we haven't gotten an official opening date yet. Sometime in the next couple of months. I hope to actually see it in the few weeks or so. You know, I can hint that right now. So, yeah, Beacon Barrel. It is an official Pirates of the Caribbean tavern, which is connected right to the attraction right there. I went the other day and I saw the walls up. So it is very intriguing to see what this tavern is going to be like and what the menu will be like in terms of beverages. You assume alcohol, non-alcoholic, so, you know, there'll be anything for everyone. And, you know, of course, it has to be kid-friendly. So that is going to be very intriguing to see what this is all about as well.
All right. Anything else we should know about happening with the theme parks right now?
Later this year, Animal Kingdom will debut Zootopia Better Together. That's the new 3D show themed to Zootopia. That's taking over the Tree of Life. So we will see what that happens. That's happened at the end of the year. So on the holidays, you'll get to see that one.
Lots of things happening at Disney. They have to keep up with Universal, of course. So
Absolutely.
Always changing, yes. All right, Haley, our theme park expert, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well, if you did not know, it is mango season in Florida, and Mango Madness is taking over parts of Florida. It turns out in South Florida, the fruit can be as good as a pot of gold for some businesses. CBS's Christian Benavides explains Miami's mango madness and how some people are actually using mangoes now as a form of payment.
It may be hurricane season, but Miami residents Boris McNertney and Virginia LaPlus say in their backyard, it's raining mangoes.
We're hearing them like thunder at night, sometimes hitting the roof and falling down.
Just take a look at their haul.
I'm bringing home 5-gallon buckets, at least 2 a day. Mango smoothies, mango pies, mango chutney, mango sauce,
mango everything.
Mango madness.
It's why some Florida establishments are accepting mangoes as a form of payment this summer season. At Zach the Baker in Miami, 6 mangoes will get you a $7 loaf of bread.
We get also a mango Danish, we're all about mango, and almond croissants, which he just loves.
Here at the bakery, the rule is 1 tray per day, but don't worry, there are plenty of other places ready to take your mangoes.
At Peel, a vegan ice cream shop, you can trade the fruit for a sweet treat.
Wow, a lot of mango flavor there.
Owner Valeria Alvarez.
We are promoting 5 pounds of mangoes in exchange for a small ice cream bowl with 2 toppings and a drizzle.
The Florida staple growing on trees had this duo teaming up to snag some low-hanging currency. Even the gators want a bite. It's also prompted run-ins with the law. This man was arrested after he pulled a gun on someone taking mangoes from his property.
So it looks like the permission was for just 2 or 3 mangoes, and I guess they overstayed their permitted amount.
To avoid those issues, some Florida residents post signs like this and try to keep mango madness legally delicious. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Miami.
I mean, who does not love mango, right? Especially this time of year. Thank you so much for spending some time with us on News 6 Extra. I'm News 6 anchor Lisa Bell. You can always get the latest headlines at clickorlando.com, and be sure to join us for our next newscast this afternoon at 4.